Today we are going to talk about one of Bend's most popular neighborhood districts, Summit West. If you love premium built, beautiful, architecturally pleasing and diverse homes, all wrapped in a master plan community complete with schools, shopping, dining, and even plenty of recreational opportunities, well, yeah, that is why this is the most popular district in all of Bend. Oh man, I get it. This is living over here, right? West Side posh living. I mean, you've got fantastic neighborhoods, you've got incredible amenities, you've got fantastic schools. Let's get things kicked off and talk about the amenities. Actually, I'm sorry, I forgot. We're not supposed to talk about amenities yet. We're gonna talk about location, where this is specifically. So, Summit West is basically northwest crossing and west and north towards Shevlin Park. There isn't a very easy to describe area. Just know that it's basically the northwest crossing all the way out to Shevlin Park. And I should probably stop for a second to just talk about the fact that we have neighborhood videos on all of the other districts here in Bend as well. We'll pop it up here, a tag up here so you guys can check out the other neighborhood districts. And while you're there and while we're talking about it, you should probably subscribe to the channel so you can watch all the neighborhood videos so you know everything there is to know about Bend. All right, now let's go ahead and talk about where this is on a map. We're gonna pull up a map right now. As you can see it, like I said, on a map you can tell it's that upper quadrant of Bend. So now let's start talking about amenities. First off, we've got Downtown NWX Crossing, which is kind of like a miniaturized version of Downtown Bend. It's got the same feel and vibe. There's great shops, there's great dining. Dining. Is it lunchtime yet? So La Rosa is actually a really fantastic Mexican restaurant. Lunch, dinner, it doesn't matter. Mount Washington actually is a really great spot. I go there for lunch all the time, although I hear their dinner service is extraordinary. Those are the two established places there for a long time. Now we have Rancher Butcher's Chef, which is a really great steakhouse, okay? That's over there. Be sure to get your reservations early. Then also we have the Grove, and the Grove is sort of like a modern day mess hall or food court. There's like a half dozen food vendors inside, and then in the mornings they've got a coffee, like a coffee place there as well, and then in the evenings they've got a full bar, kind of a tap house room there. That's kind of evenings and you know, weekends and whatnot. There's also ice cream for after dinner. Now the restaurants here are great. I've established that, right? But there is one place that I do need to mention that isn't a restaurant. Well, it is. It's the bakery. Sparrow Bakery is unofficially Bend's bakery. And they've got this thing called the Ocean Roll. If you haven't heard about it, then you're not a Bendite yet. Once you know about the Ocean Roll, your life will change. Definitely need to get one of those. Now, I don't know if now's a good time to talk about this or not, but if you're thinking about relocating to Bend, my team and I would love to be your local real estate resource of choice. We understand you have options, but we would love to hear from you. You can go to our website, crownrealestate.com, or just stalk us down below in the description. You'll probably find our contact information. Okay, back to the rest of the amenities of the Summit West District. All right, aside from all of that, there is also a large variety of other retail and service-oriented businesses here along Northwest Crossing Drive. From professional services to medical services, health and wellness, all kinds of, there's just a lot of stuff here to explore. Okay, now the schools in here are also fantastic. Now, Summit High School is probably one of the more well-known high schools across the state, not only for academics, but certainly for their athleticism. I mean, they've captured state titles in almost every high school sport there is, and they do this on a regular occurring basis. In fact, it's probably why they call this neighborhood district Summit West, Summit High School, Summit West. I don't know, maybe. So not only that, but we've got Pacific Crest, we've got Miller, we've got High Lakes. All these schools are so close to this neighborhood, to this area. I mean, to be honest, one could pretty much not ever have to ride the bus throughout their entire school, their school career, if you lived in this district. That's how close and tight-knit everything here is. Now, the final amenities that we should bring up and mention are the outdoor and recreational opportunities. I mean, we've got some incredible parks here. We've got Compass Park, which has got a covered pavilion and a playground for the kiddies. It also happens to be at the Compass kind of center of Northwest Crossing, which is kind of cool and unique. We've got Discovery Park, which has got a massive pond, tons of grass fields. It's got a dog park and even a community garden. That's a really great park. And then of course we've got the trail system that kind of runs throughout the west side over here through a lot of these neighborhoods, and it actually connects out to the greater trail system of like Phil's Trail and gets all the way out towards Shevlin Park. Shevlin Park is just insane. There's over 1,000 acres of kind of forested land to explore and play on. There's 50 acres of developed parkland, and again, this is a natural park. This is, you know, trails. Tumalo Creek runs right through the middle of it, and miles of trails looping through the area. This is the Summit West edge of town, and is probably the naming inspiration for a number of these neighborhoods. Check this out. There are neighborhoods called Shevlin Ridge, Shevlin Commons, Shevlin Meadows, Shevlin Court, Shevlin Estates. I could do this all day, but I won't. So let's go ahead and talk about the neighborhoods then, right? The neighborhoods here are, let's just say, high end. In fact, the average sales price in the 97703 zip code, which is basically this zip code, is over $1 million. Don't worry, it's just over $1 million. But still, the point is, this is a high-end price point as far as this neighborhood is concerned. Now, the first neighborhood is Northwest Crossing, and this is something that we've already been talking about throughout this video. It's where a lot of these shots are coming from, is in Northwest Crossing. This is a very large neighborhood, and probably one of the more larger neighborhoods in all of Bend. In fact, there's over 1,000 homes in here. And then of course, its sister neighborhood, which is still being developed, is called Discovery West. Now, both Northwest Crossing and Discovery West, we've done multiple videos on, so you can probably check up here for the little tag to find more in-depth information on both of those neighborhoods. But in a nutshell, these two neighborhoods were masterfully developed by Brooks Resources. They feature a wide variety of different builders and some of the best builders in all of Central Oregon. There's a huge mix of different architectural styles. We've got the downtown area and all the amenities that are included with that. We get calls all the time from people from all across the country that want to relocate to Bend in Central Oregon, and the first thing they always ask us about is Northwest Crossing and the west side of town. It is truly a special place to live. But there are plenty of other great options as well. In fact, one of my favorites is just to the south of Northwest Crossing, and I like it because you're still in the heart of everything. The homes still have a pretty large square footage. You can still get to everything here in Northwest Crossing, all of the amenities, and it usually carries a much lower price point. I mean, I'm a value-driven consumer here, if you know what I mean, right? Skyliner Summit is actually just south of Skyliner Road and is in the Broken Top kind of family of neighborhoods. Now, this particular neighborhood of over 300 homes, this is about 300 homes, they're not quite built as well or to the highest standards as like they are here in Northwest Crossing, but that's okay because they're still very, very nice and well-built homes. They're just not quite as architecturally interesting, say, as some of the homes here. All in all, it's a great option. Moving north, now we have the Viking/Nordic neighborhood of Valhalla. This neighborhood is great. It's tucked way back in the trees. There's tons of tall ponderosa trees in the area, and all of the homes in there are on the older side, which is just right for remodeling. This neighborhood boasts about 120 homes that were all built from about 1979 to as recently as 2002. So there's a wide range of homes in here. Most of them are super unique, yet have great lots, and again, are in a great location. Then at the top of the hill is Markin Summit. Now this is a brand new Stonebridge neighborhood that was finished just a couple of years ago. It's great because it's at the very top of the little butte there. The homes are awesome, and you have to drive through Valhalla to get there. The homes are incredible, and the views are even better. The last segment that we need to talk about is actually a rather large area that includes a lot of kind of smaller neighborhoods. See, Shevlin Park Road continues west towards Shevlin Park, and to both sides of the road all the way back to Shevlin Park, they're sprinkled with all these little neighborhoods. There are two polished neighborhoods along that corridor, which are new and great. There's Shevlin Meadows, which is an early 2000s type neighborhood, which actually is fantastic because a lot of those homes are much bigger in square footage size, and many of them actually have ADUs above the garage, which is pretty unique. Behind that is Shevlin Ridge, which is on the side of the hill there and features some much larger, more stately homes nestled amongst the trees. That transitions into a similar area called Three Pines Ridge, and then into Three Pines. All these are newer, post-2008 recession type homes and are larger, beautiful, with really great lot sizes as well. Now, the very last northernmost neighborhood actually backs up to the Shevlin Park acreage, and this is called Shevlin Commons. Now, this is one of the most elite neighborhoods, in my opinion, in all of Bend. In fact, we talk more about this hood in an in-depth video. We'll put it right up here, talking about some of the more luxurious neighborhoods in Bend. You should check it out right up there. And then across the street, there's a few great hoods, again, smaller in size, most notably Renaissance at Shevlin Park. Again, these are all nice neighborhoods with nice homes built on them, deserving of running up the average sales price on this side of town. The big new one here is Tall Line. This is a brand new development. It's just coming out of the ground. It's gonna have a ton of homes. And the reason I bring it up is because it's going to be very similar to Northwest Crossing and Discovery West. It's got a lot of really high-end quality builders. It's going to be a fantastic neighborhood, and right now, because this neighborhood is just starting, it is a great time to get into this neighborhood early and build that equity up as this neighborhood matures. It's actually a pretty well-known principle that to get into a neighborhood very early in the first couple of phases when the neighborhood's just coming out of the ground is actually the best time to buy and invest in a new neighborhood, because as the neighborhood is built out, prices always usually go up. And then again, as the neighborhood matures, it starts looking better and better, and it becomes more desirable, further raising the prices. So for a good investment, get into one of these high-end neighborhoods early. Anyway, aside from all that, we're gonna go ahead and do a full video breakdown on Tall Line. That's coming up. Don't forget to look for that. As far as any other developments go, there's a small section of polished built homes called Collier that is certainly worth checking out. Really great product at a great price point. Collier is actually the final puzzle piece that actually connects all of those Shevlin named neighborhoods to the backside of Discovery West and Northwest Crossing. It may be the very last neighborhood to ever be built on that far western side of town, because as of now, most of it adjoins or abuts the Deschutes National Forest. And you don't move the National Forest, you know what I mean? So I guess that if you do want to live on the most desirable side of town and you don't want to see a whole lot more growth coming to this side of town, then the Summit West District is probably the perfect place for you. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Remember, if you or someone you know is looking to buy or sell real estate here in the area, my team and I would love to be your local real estate resource of choice. We know you have options, but we would love to hear from you. You can reach out to us at cronrealestate.com or just go down below and stalk us in the description of the video. Hey, if you have any ideas for other videos that we should be doing, let us know in the comment section. We'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.